In the ongoing coverage of Findaway Voices audiobook distribution platform, I've covered so many of the perks that are involved in distributing your audiobooks through them. And one of the areas I talked about was the Voices Plus program. It's an exclusivity program, but it bears the question, is exclusive audiobook distribution with Findaway Voices worth it? Well, we're going to talk about that in today's video. Stay tuned. This is Self-Publishing with Dale, where you'll learn to publish books that sell and build an unstoppable author brand. And if you want to learn more about writing, publishing, and building your author platform, make sure that you subscribe and hit the little bell notification icon so you don't miss a single video. So I've been long talking about Findaway Voices, the audiobook distribution platform, and boy, I tell you, I'm really excited about what they have to offer. And just to kind of review and recap some of this, and by the way, there's some links inside the description down below if you want even more details about Findaway Voices, but let me summarize it for you. They're an aggregate audiobook distribution platform. They reach over 40 different avenues. They're going to send out your audiobook on your behalf. You get 80% of all net profits, and they get only 20% of the net profits. Now, this means that each one of the avenues that it distributes through, whether it's say Apple or Audible, Amazon or Google Play, they're going to have their varying percentages or their different payouts, and you're going to collect 80% of that. Not too bad. I really like the fact that they have library distribution. That's what I'm most excited about as an indie author. Now, when I did the review of Findaway Voices, I talked about their exclusivity program called Voices Plus. And let me go ahead and tell you exactly what Voices Plus is. Obviously, you're uploading your audiobook to Findaway Voices, and that's it. So when you go into this program, you're not going to be able to put it over on ACX. You couldn't do it on Authors Republic or any of the other smaller platforms for distribution. It just goes to Findaway Voices. Now, is this a bad thing? Is this a good thing? Who knows? But I'm hard pressed to see any other platform out there that reaches as much as Findaway Voices. So this got me kind of thinking. I'm like wondering, should I give it a shot? Should I try the exclusivity program? Well, what exactly are the benefits that we're going to get from it? Piracy protection. This is kind of cool because if there's ever any kind of piracy issues or any kind of DMCA takedown requests that you need to do, they're going to do it on behalf of you. So rather than us having to chase after people, Findaway Voices is going to handle that. And that's kind of a nice little perk of being a part of the Voices Plus program. There's a quality control guarantee. Now, I highly doubt Findaway Voices is going to allow any kind of low quality things to be distributed through their platform, but they have a quality control guarantee. So I don't know that that's necessarily a benefit because it's a benefit of both the standard distribution and the distribution there. I'm sure someone at Findaway Voices might set me straight on that one. 100 giveaway codes. Now, through standard distribution, you're getting 30 giveaway codes that you're able to utilize through their author's direct platform. And so when you're trying to promote your book, you can do giveaways, you can give it over to your readers, you can hand it out in promotional appearances. Well, you only get 30 when you're doing standard distribution, which is pretty darn nice. And this doesn't really have any kind of cash value, but keep in mind that this could lead to bigger things and more readers and listeners. And well, here's the cool thing. With exclusivity through Voices Plus, you get 100 giveaway codes. This was the part that sold it for me because I myself do a lot of appearances, and I think that it would be nice to kind of make an appearance through a podcast or YouTube channel that I could, say, give 5 to 10 codes out at a time. That way people are able to get my audiobook. First in line for marketing and promotional campaign opportunities. Now, this is a bit ambiguous. I'm not really sure what their marketing and promotional opportunities are going to be, but chances are very likely they're cooking up a lot of really cool things at the Findaway Voices headquarters. I visited there not too long ago. In fact, I shared that on the channel, and in visiting them, I came to find out like so much that I can't even share on this channel right now. All that to say this is that this company is planning to aggressively expand in the marketplace. And then the last benefit is preview great new features. Again, a bit ambiguous. They don't really say what the new features are, but being a part of an exclusivity program might kind of get you in the cool kids club, and you'll be able to hear or get to see or test out some things in beta that they wouldn't offer to anybody else on public. So I've got an audiobook that I just had put together by a good friend of the channel here, Kevin Barry Maguire. He actually sat down and did some narration for me for a future release for my brother's book, Live Streaming Kit. Let's go ahead and take it away. Okay, we're going to go through the exact process of uploading over to the Findaway Voices Plus program. So let's get logged into our Findaway Voices account. If you don't have one, by the way, go over to findawayvoices.com/Dale. Get yourself set up with a free account. I'm going to get signed in. All right, we're going to start with a new project. Since I've already got the audio already set, it's already pretty much put together by my narrator. I've worked with him before, so this is all going to be pretty much in check. So we're going to sell existing audiobook and hit next. In the event that you wanted to work with a narrator, you'd select this and you go through a completely different process. I'm going to hit next. And let's put in the title of the book and hit create. All right, so now we're going to go through and let's go ahead and copy and paste all the metadata that's relevant here. I think you can probably figure it out. It's fairly intuitive. All right, let's go ahead and get the artwork put in here. Now keep in mind that if you've ever done anything on ACX, the cover art is typically 2400 by 2400, but here on Findaway Voices, they want it 3000 by 3000 pixels. So if you're working with a graphic designer, make sure that you tell them those specs in advance. Thankfully, my graphic designer was pretty much on call and he whipped it together really fast for me. I'm gonna left click on that and then we're gonna insert in our cover. Okay, it's uploaded now. We're going to keep scrolling on down to fill in the description now. Here's the beauty of this, the description. You can actually create a pretty decent looking description here with all the things they have in here. So I'd recommend that you take your time, go in, get it all nicely formatted. Now the formatting doesn't carry over to every single platform they have available, but in most of them they will honor it. And I'm just going to paste mine in here. Great. Now if I want to go through and fix some of these things, I can do that. For the most part though, there's probably just a couple things I want to fix, and that would be like the bullet points. I'm going to highlight this area and we're going to go ahead and left click on the bullet points. Now I didn't do anything too fancy, but in the event that we really wanted to make anything kind of pop up off the page, we can always just put it as heading 1, we can bold it, we can italicize it if we wanted to, but I'm not going to go overboard on this one. I think this looks just fine. It's got enough copy in here that'll keep things kind of going. I might break up this little line right here, so there we go. Everything looks good. So the next thing is you're going to go ahead and select the publisher. Put in the author's name. Now if you don't have the author's name here yet, you can always just type it in and we'll press enter. Again with the narrators, just going to fill it in, press enter. We're going to hit save changes and it'll go ahead and populate that down below. If you have any additional authors, obviously you want to add that. The same thing goes with narrators. This is unabridged, we're good to go. Language is English. It hasn't had any awards yet. Okay, so keywords. I'm going to take the keywords that I actually had already used for my ebook and my print books over on Amazon. So that way it makes life easy. Now, if you really want to do your own due diligence, you can go over to say like Audible and start to look in some of the auto suggests that might pop up over there. But for the most part, I think that the keywords that I'm going to be utilizing is going to be perfect for what we're looking for. When you put in your keyword, just click add. One of the things they recommend is that you front load all of the best keywords because some of the platforms won't take all of your keywords. They have up to over like nearly 1,000 characters that you can use in here. So you're going to load this up. This is way more than probably you're used to if you're publishing on Amazon. Okay, now that I've got all the keywords that I care to add, there's still 323 characters remaining. I'm sure I could fill it all up, but I'm just going to go ahead and skip forward now. Hit save changes. Select your classification. Mine's nonfiction. Grade level, honestly, this is going to probably be closer to adult. Now we're going to go through the primary BISAC and additional BISAC. Now this is your categories that you want to kind of go underneath. I'd recommend that you either go through and download their guide, which they have underneath here, download a list of BISAC codes, or you can even just simply type it in here. As soon as you have your categories already set, what you're going to do is hit save changes. Now, if you happen to come to the table here with your own ISBN, this is where you would end up slipping in your ISBNs. This is a good way to kind of get it all, the publications locked together. I'm just going to utilize their free ISBN here through Findaway Voices. That's the best way for me. Has this audiobook ever been available for purchase on any platform before? No, mine has not. If you for some reason went from exclusive to non-exclusive on ACX, then clearly you're going to need to say yes on this one. I'm going to go completely exclusive on the Voices Plus program. So what we're going to do is say no. The street date that we're going to make it available, I want to make this available right away. We're going to hit Save Changes. Our copyright year, we're going to go ahead and put down 2019 because that's when the actual book was written. Select the copyright owner, and again, rinse and repeat. Save changes. All right, last but not least, we're going to want to make sure that we're pricing this according to what we want to have it at. I've done a little bit of due diligence, and I feel that my pricing works out for me here, so I'm going to type it on in. And we're going to set the library list price. Now, Findaway Voices recommends setting a library list price about 2 to 3 times your retail cost. Because keep in mind, if the library is purchasing your audiobook, that means numerous people are going to be listening to it. So we want to make sure that we're charging accordingly. So for mine, I'm going to put it down for $14.97. We're going to hit Save Changes. We're going to save changes across the board here. And now what we're going to do is going to come straight up. We've got all the metadata in place. Let's go into distribution. Here's the fun part. This is where we're going to select the Voices Plus program. I've covered standard distribution before, but for Voices Plus, this is something we discussed at the very beginning of the video. I'm going to hit Enroll in Voices Plus. So save distribution. I'm going to take full distribution. So unlike when I've done in previous videos, I typically have something through ACX. This one is not on ACX, so I am going to utilize Audible and Amazon here. So this is all the distribution. In the event that I don't like a particular avenue, I'll just select this and I'll come down and I'll remove it. But I'm going to keep all of these selections because that means that I am going to be distributed out to a network of 41 retailers. So this is exciting for me. All right, so everything's already set, so all we're going to do is we're going to go into audio. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to upload all of the audio files. All you're going to need to do is you're going to come in here. We don't need to worry about production notes because that would be if we're working with a narrator on Findaway Voices. I've already gotten all this done ahead of time. It's fairly intuitive, so if you got opening credits, what you do is left click on this. We'll select opening credits and enter it into there. Next thing is going to be, say, front matter. So if there's some type of like a plug or an advertisement that you're doing inside your video, then that's going to be it. So for instance, one of the things I have in here is download the accompanying PDF and follow along to this audiobook. So this is probably where I'd put the front matter. Body matter is where we're going to put the rest of our book, with the exception of the back matter and the closing credits. So if for some reason you have an about the author page, you will put it in the back matter. Things like the appendix, endnotes, you're going to end up slipping in here. Closing credits goes in a section in itself. So I'm going to click through all these things. I think you can kind of figure your way through on this one. We're going to fast forward. Okay, so once you have all of the audio files all uploaded in the order that you want it, make sure you're going through and double checking that all of the files are where they should be and not out of order. If you're working with a narrator, then they're probably going to be pretty good about kind of numerically putting it here. So Kevin, for instance, did awesome work in actually numbering everything, so I didn't get lost when I was uploading it. And he also labeled them according to what the chapter was, so it made it even easier for me. One thing to note is you'll have your closing credits as well as your retail audio sample, so make sure you have that loaded up. So we're going to submit audio files. It goes through here, it says your audio is locked in, but it's not ready for retail. This is actually going to go through the folks over at Findaway Voices. I know a former guest here of the channel, Wes Ingram, probably is going to end up picking this up, and he's going to make sure that it sounds good and it is ready for all the distribution avenues. So I'm going to hit continue, final review, and submission. Okay, so now we're going to go back through here and make sure that all the metadata looks good. Double check everything, make sure it all looks according to where you're supposed to have it. If it has the awards, it has the keywords. If you have your ISBN here, Voices Plus program, now it's going to say enrolled since November the 15th of 2019. So this is important to note, as I mentioned earlier in the video. We're going to go ahead and review and submit. And now that's pretty much it. So at this point, I'm just going to hurry up and wait. Typically, I've seen it's taken about a week to 2 weeks before the audiobook has been distributed to the various platforms. Some, it gets up pretty fast. Others, it takes a little bit longer. In fact, I talk a little bit more about that in the whole Findaway Voices series. You're going to actually take a look at that in this video down below. I talk a lot more about Findaway Voices, why I'm so excited about it, why I'm so bullish about going into this neck of the woods. So I will see you in the next video.